Stay with me. This is going to be difficult to hear. And at the end, we will talk about the destruction of the Kerch Strait Bridge. Now, the war in Ukraine has a few ways to end, but best case scenario for the world would be for the United States to still trickle in weapons to Ukraine. Not all the weapons for them to get a quick win, but enough of the weapons to degrade Russia's ability to attack other people. Russia said the United States can't attack them directly, so we're using Ukraine. Now, for the record, if Ukraine drains Russia's ability to commit war, it would directly help the world because Russia would not attack anyone else for decades. If you remember back in the 90s that they were a laughingstock and a pack or two of cigarettes is what the military got. Now, over a decade, they advanced to the place where they're the second best military in Ukraine. And Ukraine is making sure that, once again, degrades back into where they are not capable of posing a threat to the rest of the world. Now, best case for Ukraine would be a bullet to the back of Putin's head and a new government installed, them realizing the stupidity of trying to create a new section of Russia in Ukraine is just dumb. Since the oligarchs had stolen money out of the Russian military and degraded their abilities so they can't actually win this war. They pull back and the world goes, all right, we forgive Russia. However, this would still allow a highly corrupt state to function in the world, and they would still be a threat because one more dictator rising in Russia will right back where we are, where we're, soft pedaling a nuclear power, because honestly, we should have took the nuclear weapons when we had the chance. Now, best case for Russia would be a bullet to the back of Putin's head, because he won't end this. Because as dictators are, they can't end it. So we have the bridge in the Kerch Strait blow up. 12 miles long, $3.6 billion project. Now, the likelihood is Ukraine blew it up. It's very unlikely that Putin blew it up because that bridge supplies all the military equipment to Crimea. And even though Putin will blow up his own pipelines if they're not making any money and, secures the ability of him not to get shot in the back of the head by all those oligarchs that want to make money again and be able to float their yachts into any territory they want instead of, hiding them because the United States will take them away. So that bridge was a lifeline for Putin. Very unlikely that he would blow it up just for the ability to attack civilian targets in Ukraine en masse once again. Because every civilian target they attack means the Ukraine military will win this war faster. Because the populace will galvanize even further behind Ukraine defeating Russia, and they are running out of weapons to fight this war. So as Ukraine is supplied by Western democracies, Russia is finding people to support them, few and unwilling to even help them even in the basics. Now, the partial destruction of that bridge kinda is a great move on Ukraine's part. Now, partial destruction of the bridge means Russia will take forces away from the front line to protect what's left of the resource. 2 lanes and a railroad bridge. Now, further attacks on that bridge that aren't completely successful will further degrade Russia's ability to move weapons, their resupplied troops, and any other supplies they need for this war. And it will further move their soldiers away from the front lines, making it harder for Russia to maintain the territory that they stole. So, what does this mean? We are most likely to see a massive attack from Ukraine in the next few days or weeks, where we have 15 to 20,000 Russian soldiers are stranded on the far side of the Dnieper River. 15 to 20,000. And Ukraine is just about to start picking them off and destroying them piece by piece. How does one Ukraine expert put it?
Practically, they've been stupid, drunk, brutal, out of control, low morale, bad leadership, bad operational directives. Right now, down in the Kherson area, there's a better part of 15,000 Russians stuck north and west of the Dnieper River. And the Ukrainians are going to try and take them apart deliberately, piece by piece. They've conducted over 400 artillery strikes, over 40 air sorties. They've blown up a lot of their ammunition. They've hit a lot of their command and control. They're doing partisan and special operations attacks deep in the Russian zone. It's just astonishing to me. And now Putin, who's got himself in a box he can't get out of, is scrambling to make up Russian manpower. He's afraid to conscript Russian city boys and send them off to fight in Ukraine. So he's emptying the prisons. He's using contract mercenaries, and it's not going well for him. So, look, I think there's some possibility. Everyone's being very cautious. The Ukrainians are playing their operational security pretty well, but there's some possibility that the Ukrainians in the coming 90 days will bag a bunch of the Russian army across the Dnieper River.
Ukraine is dismantling Russia's army. They're running out of strength, and, well, Ukraine is only getting stronger and more united against Russia. So if you like those videos, please help. The YouTube algorithm is horribly biased against, progressives. And the Republicans have massive amounts of money just to buy it off. So, every time you like, every time you put a comment down below, helps us out. So like, subscribe, and if you really want to help the environment, down below is a link to a GoFundMe page where it has a brand new power generation that is 0% carbon emission and one of the cheapest productions of electricity the world has ever had. So go down, help us out.